Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So, today we're diving into something really special. We're looking at a deeply moving piece of poetry all about Amrit Mahotsav, which basically translates to this grand festival of the nectar of independence. It's a really fascinating text because it perfectly balances a solemn look back at the past with a super vibrant celebration of where the nation is right now. Plus, it looks boldly ahead to the future. Let's just jump right in and unpack the emotion and the meaning behind these verses. The poem actually kicks off by grounding us in one very specific, monumental number, 75. 75 years of freedom. And what's really captivating here is how the poet talks about the passage of time. They point out how these decades, which, let's face it, are packed with dense history and massive growth, somehow seem to have just flown by in a few fleeting moments. It really captures that universal kind of dizzying feeling you get when you look back at a huge milestone and realize, wow, time literally flies when you're building a legacy. Moving right along to Section 1, 75 years of struggle. Before we can even start celebrating where we are today, the text really demands that we acknowledge the sheer perseverance it took to get here. These 75 years were forged in intense struggle, which is vividly captured by the phrase, struggles that brought tears. I want you to just think about the emotional weight carried in that single line. This isn't some dry history lesson, right? It's a deeply reflective acknowledgement of the human cost. These were moments of immense pain that literally brought tears to the eyes of an entire generation. It's a powerful reminder that freedom was built on profound sacrifice. Now, that brings us to Section 2. The nectar of freedom. And here, the poem doesn't just leave us dwelling in the past. As we shift into the present era, you can feel the energy of the words shifting dramatically upward. We're stepping out of the shadows and right into a vibrant celebration. Notice the incredible contrast the poet sets up for us. On one hand, we have the painful tears brought on by past struggles. But on the other, we see the nectar of freedom soaking the heart. The poet uses water imagery in both cases, but totally transforms it, from a salty tear of pain to the sweet, refreshing rain of liberty that's just washing over the nation. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's zoom in on this specific line for a second. When the poet says the nectar of freedom soaked the heart, they're emphasizing this profound sense of relief and spiritual renewal. It means that the freedom we're celebrating, it's not just some political status on a piece of paper. No, it's a living, breathing joy that completely saturates the soul of the people. This whole festival of freedom acts like a revitalizing downpour, washing away all that past fatigue and just filling the nation's heart with pure joy. Next up is Section 3, Building a Self-Reliant India. So now that the heart is refreshed, what comes next? Well, the tone shifts again. We move from this joyous celebration into resolute, forward-thinking action. The poet issues a really passionate, direct call to action to us, the readers. Come together to make the country wonderful. It's an urgent plea for collective effort. The text is reminding us that the future doesn't just rest on one person's shoulders. Actually, it requires a unified effort from literally every citizen. It's essentially an invitation to take all that joy of freedom and channel it into constructive, nation-building energy. Now, what's really interesting here is how the poem breaks down a specific, actionable blueprint for the future. The poet gives us two very distinct tools. First, we need the strength of iron to make our resolve absolutely unbreakable. And second, we need the thread of unity to tie everything together. It's this exact combination, right? The unyielding strength of iron mixed with the flexible binding thread of unity, that is exactly what the poem says will make the country truly wonderful. So the crucial takeaway here is that this combined strength and unity has a very specific destination. We're not just being strong for the sake of it. The ultimate goal of channeling this iron resolve and unity is to achieve Atmanirbhar Bharat, which means a completely self-reliant India. That's the grand vision, a nation standing firmly on its own 2 feet, drawing on the immense collective power of its unified people. And that grand vision brings us right to the heart of the celebration itself. The poem declares, this is the festival of freedom. This is the great festival of freedom. The deliberate repetition here is just fantastic. It's designed to build incredible momentum. It quickens the pace, it elevates the excitement, and it perfectly emphasizes the massive scale of this celebration. It's just a proud, joyful declaration of progress. Then, the poem crescendos into this heavy, rhythmic repetition, Amrit, Amrit, Mo, Amrit, Amrit, Mo. You really have to think of this not just as words on a page, but as this unifying, energetic national chant vibrating with the sweet nectar of independence. It acts almost like a heartbeat for the entire poem. This chant celebrates a deep, deep love for the country, bringing all those themes together, the past struggle, the present joy, and the future resolve, all into one powerful, echoing chorus. Which leaves us with one final provocative thought. As we look back at the 75 years of tearful struggle, as we feel the joyous nectar of freedom today, and as we hear that call for iron resolve tomorrow, we have to ask ourselves, what will we all contribute to this self-reliant India? You see, the poem isn't just a story. It's an invitation for you to participate. So let that question energize you. Take some time to reflect on your own personal role in building the future. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today, and I hope it sparks a lasting curiosity in you.